We are now joined by Bramuda Biru of TVR World. At the moment, he's in Bali. Bramuda, your report.
Good afternoon there, Val. So I'm still here at the BNDCC or Bali Nusa Dua Convention Center. It's a sunny day here in Bali for the 10th World Water Forum for Water for Shared Prosperity. Now for the fifth day, it has been quite a day with so many decision makers gathering here with many promising future lie ahead of us for water management and also water security. Now let's have a little recap here where for the moment of coordinating Ministry of Maritime Affairs and also Investment, Luhut Binsar Panjaitan, that stated the moment of President Joko Widodo's introduction of the future president, chosen president Prabowo Subianto, to the delegates and the participants of the World Water Forum receive a positive response. Take a look.
We will now proceed with the presentation.
In the opening of the 10th World Water Forum, President Joko Widodo introduced Prabowo Subianto as the elected president to the participants and delegates of the World Water Forum, which comprised representatives from hundreds of countries and dozens of international organizations. This introduction was met with positive appreciation from the attendees. Luhut mentioned that the president's introduction of the elected president is a tradition that should be upheld by a great nation in the future.
Ya, saya kira itu sangat baik. Saya kira saya sudah bilang tadi satu tradisi yang bagus sekali. Ya, Pak Jokowi memperkenalkan Pak Prabowo kepada peserta peserta World Water Forum. Dan komentar yang saya terima, mereka mengatakan bahwa satu hal yang luar biasa. Dan saya pikir memberikan signal yang bagus pada market bahwa serah terima dan kontinuitas pembangunan kita itu akan bisa berjalan dengan baik.
Responding to media questions about the potential developments of the cooperation established during Jokowi's leadership era, Luhut revealed that there was a lot of discussion when Tesla Incorporation and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk met with Prabowo and expressed that Musk was pleased with the discussion.
Ya, Pak Prabowo sudah bertemu juga dengan Elon Musk dan juga bicara banyak. Dan saya dengar Elon Musk juga untuk cerita sama saya sangat senang dengan pertemuannya dengan Pak Prabowo. Ya, jadi bagus semua.
The continuity of policies from Jokowi's leadership era to Prabowo's administration has indeed been positively received by various parties, especially by the participants of the 10th World Water Forum, which was attended by policymakers and the international community.
Now we also have a talk with the Indonesian Ministry of Environment and Forestry that will highlight the critical role of forests and playing in the supplying water for human needs in the 10th World Water Forum, and also engaging with our bilateral partners and countries to stress the needs of strengthening global collaboration to ensure water resource sustainability. So to shed more light on this critical issue, TVR World's Siska Becker spoke with the Director General of Climate Change from the Indonesian Ministry of Environment and Forestry, Laksmi Dewanti, during the World Water Forum in Nusa Dua, Bali. Have a look.
One of the most pressing issues that have resulted because of the effects of climate change is water scarcity and also water access inequality. This matter is, of course, being discussed extensively right here at the 10th World Water Forum. I'm Siska Becker. Right now, I'm at Bali Nusa Dua Convention Center at Uluwatu area, where the Ministry of Environment and Forestry of Republic of Indonesia have just held bilateral meetings with delegates attending the forum. And now to talk more about the relations between climate change and water resource availability and sustainability, I'm going to talk with my very special guest, the Director General of Climate Change from the Ministry of Environment and Forestry of Indonesia, Ms. Laksmi Dewanti. Ibu Laksmi, thank you so much for talking with me. I understand you are very busy here at the forum, so we truly appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And indeed, as you mentioned, it is a very important conference, as water is very important for everybody.
Now, as we understand, Ibu Laksmi, you just concluded a bilateral meeting. So is that one of your top agendas here at the forum, to meet with different delegates and different countries to talk about water resources?
Yeah, as part of the multilateral forums like the World Water Forum, we always taking an opportunity to meet our partners, to meet our bilateral colleagues, because we know that this challenge has been shared by all countries and all stakeholders. So talking with our bilaterals meeting in ensuring that our concrete action will taking place, it's very important.
So Ibu Laksmi, if you don't mind sharing, what has been the top talking points when you discuss about water resources management with these different countries?
Indeed, as my function as the DG for climate change, issue of climate change, it's always in the talking points. We know that Indonesia and many other countries are faced a challenge from the climate change impact. Water is indeed one of the issues that we are facing. Water, we know from the research that due to the climate change effect, the decline of the water resources is up to or nearly 35%. So meaning that if we cannot address this challenge, we're gonna to have problems in the future with the water.
So indeed, mitigation is really needed right now to ensure that the water crisis doesn't go on too long and affect the livelihood of the people, including here in Indonesia. Now, could you share with us also how has the government responded to climate change effects, and what has been the action plan for activation, and also to make sure that the mitigation is done according to plan to ensure climate change effects doesn't bother the water resources availability here in Indonesia?
In terms of climate change, Indonesia has been very committed on these issues since the beginning of the discussions back in 1997. And now, under the Paris Agreement, Indonesia has submitted its nationally determined contribution as a target to reduce the greenhouse gas emission, as well to build the climate resilience. Mitigation is one pillar of the climate change agenda. Other pillars is adaptation. So we have to do both. We are reducing the greenhouse gas emission from the sources while we're building the climate resilience to the climate change impact.
All right, Ibu Laksmi, one of the objectives of this forum is, of course, to gather different stakeholders to talk about this pressing issue, this global challenge that we're facing, the water crisis. Could you also share with us now, though, what is the plan of the government of Indonesia to include private sectors and civil societies on the plan to mitigate climate change effects, especially on water resources availability and sustainability?
Indeed, water is everybody's issues. So we have to ensure that it's not only the government or the local government who's taking care or to carry out the plan and the programs as well as project on the water issue, but everybody. For example, in the nexus between climate change and water, we involve the non-party stakeholders. Non-parties, it's meaning that local government, academia, private sector, local communities, each individual stakeholder have their own roles and have an opportunity to contribute to our effort in ensuring that water will not decline, or water resources is not decline, water resources will not be polluted, water resources will be there because we need water every day.
So it is safe to say that as many people as possible is needed to spread this message. What is the strategy, though, that's being implemented right now to raise public awareness so all people everywhere realize the importance of conserving water?
Yeah, knowing that our stakeholders are very diverse, we have quite numbers of intervention or program. First, we have education program. We have campaign. We integrate environmental concern into our education's curricula. So we have to ensure that our people, our community, all stakeholders know exactly what the issues are. And the second is we have to have an intervention, for example, the capacity building, providing technology, providing financial support it, because for those that already know and aware, they have or they need to do something. So we need to ensure that they could afford the action that they are that important for us, for them. We also have another intervention like law enforcement, because for those who they know, they afford, but they simply cannot or don't want to do it. So for this kind of group, we need to ensure that they follow the regulation, they follow the rules, and we enforce the regulations.
Ibu Laksmi, we share your hopes and wishes. Thank you so much for this enlightening conversation. Thank you, Ibu. That was Ibu Laksmi Dewanti, Director General of Climate Change from the Ministry of Environment and Forestry of Indonesia. I'm Siska Becker, reporting from the 10th World Water Forum at Bali, Nusa Dua.
Also, a story coming from the Indonesia's Minister of Special Planning and Agrarian, and also the head of the National Land Agency, Agus Harimurti Yudhoyono, that states that water is an element that has to be protected and has to be managed by all people with their responsibility, so that humankind can pass this element down to the next generations. Have a look.
On Wednesday, Minister Agus Harimurti Yudhoyono said in a session of the ongoing 10th World Water Forum in Bali that every human being has the responsibility to manage water so it can pass through the next generation. He added that everyone must also ensure the availability of water, food, and energy in the future in a safe condition. Minister Agus added, the session discussed three things, particularly those related to the challenges of global water issues and opportunities that people can do together. The other thing is about the fact that all citizens of the world have the rights to have access to good water, and another topic is about sustainability issues.
So that was the story from today from Agus Harimurti Yudhoyono as the Minister of Land Planning, the Special Planning, and also Agrarian, and the head of the National Land Agency. And he stated how it is important for people who have responsibility, and all of us have responsibility to take care and manage water. Not only that, he even shared his idea how Indonesia probably needs a national water agency, not only national land agency, but more on that we'll discuss later. And for now, that would be a recap from today's 10th World Water Forum on the 5th day. Back to the studio, Val. Thank you.
Thank you, Pramuda Biru, for your report.